My next guest, Midge, went from travel vlogs and burnout to building a purpose-driven branding agency. We unpack how to start again, keep your vision, and turn attention into income. If you're stuck or tired, this is probably going to help you move. Let's go. Hi, Midge.
Hi.
Welcome. So you've got a bit of a following on LinkedIn, a little bit on YouTube, a little bit on Insta. You kind of a little bit spread over the shop, but you've kind of stepped away from YouTube and gone into something else. Can you explain why you got rid of that? Because I know it was a travel channel.
Yeah.
And then it's completely different to your LinkedIn. So can you give us a rundown on that?
Love the question. Well, I started my YouTube back in 2020 when the pandemic hit. And a lot of my friends kind of advised me to start my own vlog because they saw the energy in me and they were like, you would be an amazing YouTuber. But back then I wasn't really taking it seriously. But then when pandemic hit, as you remember, everyone was getting like creative, like making banana breads at home. So I started my YouTube and I also wanted to do something creative, something that is more like me. And as we had so much time, I actually had a chance to learn how to grow a YouTube channel, how to position myself. And I managed to monetize it within 6 months.
Wow.
But then, unfortunately, with all the ups and downs, I had to step away from that. And there were actually various reasons. And one of the reasons was the logistical difficulty. The travel vlogs require you to always vlog, basically. And I found myself in a situation where I'm going out with friends and I felt this pressure of recording that, or I'm just chilling by myself and I have a pressure of recording that. And over the time, this excitement and passion for that kind of disappeared. But at the same time, now that I'm looking back, what was it, 5 years ago, right? I was so young and I'm realizing right now that I have more expertise in marketing, I just realized that back then when I started, I didn't have a vision in mind. I just started because I was advised to do it. It was just for fun, I guess, but I didn't have any vision in mind. And when you don't have this strong reason why, sometimes it's hard to keep going. And back then, my whole goal was just to monetize it. I didn't see a bigger picture behind it.
Yeah, okay.
That was one of the reasons. And second reason is obviously the pressure of me going to 9 to 5 because I just graduated my university and obviously I couldn't maintain both, searching for 9 to 5 plus maintaining YouTube. Obviously YouTube takes way long time to bring you the profit so that you can live off this. So once I went to full-time job, I was totally taken by full-time job. It was hard to maintain both. And at some point I was realizing that I was creating just because I felt that I had to create, just for the pressure of keeping it, because there is a saying, once you start something you have to take it until the end.
Yeah.
But then at some point I was like, you know what, I think it's not good for my mental health that I'm pushing myself this far and not really having this clear purpose and vision behind it. I will stop it. Deep inside I knew that I'd come back, but I was like, if I come back, it's going to be more strategic, it's going to be more purposeful, and this time I will know and I will have all the resources to keep going.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's like what you were saying about the YouTube channel, how you're always feeling forced to vlog, or
Right.
when you're with your friends and you're feeling all that pressure and stuff like that, and then you might be like, oh, my friends don't want this, or if you meet new people and
Yeah.
there's all these other pressures.
And also because back then I was starting, I had no idea, right? I would ask anybody for advice. Anyone would just give whatever advice, and sometimes I would find myself confused of how do I actually have to position myself. I remember one person would tell me, you should create more mukbangs. That's what's trendy right now. The other one would be like, oh, I actually don't like travel vlogs. And because I was so young and I was just giving in all the opinions, and it was really affecting me as well. So it was just so many things at the same time.
It's actually so crazy. I 100% 2 hours ago I had a conversation with someone in the sauna about exactly this. We were just talking about benefits of sauna and ice bath and stuff like that, but similar thing in the sense of there's all these gurus out there now that seem to know everything, and it's kind of you almost just got to pick someone and
Yes.
be like, I'm going to follow what you were doing and
because
do what
that's
you
who
say.
you resonate with.
Yeah.
Deep inside, that's who you resonate with, and you just want to listen to that person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But the YouTube channel and stuff like that, and being monetized and doing it, and it being, especially being a travel channel, like you also have to travel as well, and it obviously got hard with COVID and all that type of stuff, so that would have made it fairly difficult as well.
Exactly.
One thing I will touch on is that you then said when you do make a comeback, or whether it be in the travel scene or in a business scene,
Yeah.
you said that you'd come back with like all this strategy and you know, all these marketing tools. How did you? We'll get into what you do a little bit later, but how did you learn all these tools? So you went to university and you did what, and then what's from there?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, my university was more about like economics, business, marketing as well.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, about marketing, and marketing always evolves. You still learn in a practice. You still work. You still learn while you work in companies. You still learn about this by yourself, even sometimes. So the funny thing is that when I was doing my full-time job, and you know, here's the thing, I also want to kind of spread this message that sometimes I know a lot of creators, they start something and then they feel bad that they haven't continued it. Like in my case, my YouTube channel, like every time I look back and I'm like, that was actually cool. Like,
yeah.
Like, great job to me. But then I realized that nothing goes into waste.
Yeah.
Everything that you do, it will still help you in the future. For example, in my case, I was applying for marketing jobs, and my YouTube was basically my lottery, like my card, basically.
Yeah,
like
a little bit of a resume booster type of
yeah,
thing.
exactly. Like a lot of hiring managers and managers, they would be like, oh, wow, that's perfect. That's exactly who we need. She knows social media. She can grow our channel. She can grow our social. So it really helped me. And, you know, even when I was talking with my mom, and she was like, you see, like no effort ever goes to waste. And when I was doing, obviously, my full-time job, and here's the thing, right? When I was running my YouTube channel, I felt so immature at that time. And deep inside, I really want to work for a company. I want to learn the inside. I want to learn the strategic part. And once I started working as a content manager, I've learned how actually the behind the scenes of all that goes, because I was responsible for that. How do we prepare the content calendar, the strategy, the messaging? And once I saw the logistics behind it, then I was like, oh, okay, now that makes sense. Here's how you can do it so that you don't burn out. Here's how you can, you know, come up with a strategy so that you don't listen to everybody giving you different advice, because you'll be like, nope, my strategy is like a spine that it's not gonna move. So yeah, and at the end of the day, when I actually decided to go to quit my job and become self-employed, you know, the creator part in me was still there. And I was like, okay, YouTube took a lot of my, let's say,
daytime,
because it's a video content, and video content is heavier. There's a lot more effort. I wanted to start with something a bit slower, which was LinkedIn. And it was a perfect low-hanging fruit for me because it requires writing, and I also love writing.
Yeah, okay.
Two things that I'm comfortable is being in front of the video and writing.
Yeah.
Writing is more like a therapy for me. The moment I write, I feel like I'm in a different world.
It's like journaling and stuff.
Yeah, right. So I started actually, like the first question you asked, right, about LinkedIn. It's like two different things.
Yeah.
I just felt like I wanted to share about the stuff, how to position yourself, branding, marketing, social media marketing, personal branding. And the more I am in a creator phase, the more I realize that I really love this. And I think now that I'm seeing the behind the scenes and how I can maintain it in a sustainable way, I think I would be ready to get back to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, okay. Do you think the YouTube channel would be more centered around business marketing and like what you do as a whole now? So it's like you'd end up creating this kind of like ecosystem, one big YouTube, LinkedIn, everything kind of flows into one another? Or would you go back to doing travel vlogs? Or
To be honest, I am still reflecting on this, and I'm still building up the strategy, and I want it to be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Yeah, but I just wanted to be me. I just wanted to be me, and I wanted to be very resonant to people like me. I wanted to be inspirational. I still wanted to be very insightful. I want to talk a lot about entrepreneurship and generally about the stuff that people could find valuable and insightful. So
That's good.
Yeah.
So, by the sounds of it, it might be a little bit vlog style, and you can
Could be, yeah.
day to day and all that type of stuff. Nah, that's really good. So, you grew up
I grew up in Tajikistan.
Tajikistan, yeah.
That's in Central Asia.
If you want to tell people what it was like growing up for you, because I feel like coming from these types of countries, some people see it as a disadvantage and some people see it as an advantage. And yeah, if you could tell us a bit about your story and whether you think it's an advantage or disadvantage.
Yeah, right. So what is my view about Tajikistan and the youth of Tajikistan, and generally from my own experience, I'd say that growing up in Tajikistan could be like at the same time tough, but at the same time it makes you this big dreamer. Personally, for me, I've seen like my mom going through hardships, my family going through hardships, and it kind of instilled me to dream big and to go out of my way. And generally my environment, the school where I started, and generally looking at all the other youth, I felt like we're so visionary and we have so many plans and an ambition that, you know, if you gave us those opportunities, we would just go all in. Because we've all seen our parents struggling and generally our country rebuilding itself, because we also we've been through a civil war in the 90s. Generally, I do see our youth as extremely ambitious, extremely hardworking, and extremely resilient.
Yeah. Do you think social media has helped that at all? Like, in the sense of your parents' time growing up in Tajikistan, like there was no social media, so you didn't really know what was outside the walls type of thing, whereas...
No, we still watched American movies, Hollywood.
Yeah, I just kind of... Yeah, like... Sorry, I didn't mean that to sound any way, but like I kind of meant like...
No.
With social media from your parents' age, how... You know, they might not as many people might have ventured out as far, but now with the power of social media that you can do stuff online and you can kind of break that mold, and
100%.
You can see more.
Yeah, 100%. Like even back then when social media wasn't a thing yet, I remember we were still somehow exposed, and even our parents would encourage us to travel abroad, go beyond our geographical location, right? Because we kind of come from post-Soviet Union environment where our parents were mostly exposed to Soviet Union countries, and I mean they were not even allowed to travel beyond that. And when it came to us, when we gained our independence, our parents kind of encouraged us to go beyond. They were like, yeah, I feel like all the future is in your hands. And a lot of also in our country, like there are a lot of scholarships and opportunities for brilliant and bright students to study abroad to various universities, either it's like in China or in Europe, Australia, the US. There are like a lot of opportunities, a lot of like programs. And most of the young people back then, like within my age group, we were all like going to those volunteering opportunities, you know, where they would organize, where they would... how do I say, like interview the brightest students, like looking at their social status, also looking at their like GPA. And, you know, after the interviewing, they'll be like, okay, like you can be part of our community volunteering. We will teach you about like whatever skill that is needed, like either public speaking. And we do like volunteering in terms of like going to orphanages. And at the same time, they would teach us about like public speaking or like even English.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we would get access to apply to different scholarship programs. So we kind of all were dreamers, and we all wanted like, oh, wow, I do want to study abroad. I do want to be exposed. And I do want to, sometimes we would even think, oh, I do want to come back. And then, you know, with all the knowledge that we've gained, like to make my country bigger and prouder and etc.
Yeah. That's really cool. So... After you got through school and stuff like that, you said you didn't start your YouTube channel for a while, but did you start traveling and going and seeing the world and all that type of stuff beforehand? And like, where did you go to university?
Before my YouTube channel?
Yeah.
So before my YouTube channel, I was a student in Indonesia. So I got my scholarship in Indonesian university. I was traveling, but mostly around Asia. I still haven't been to Europe. It's funny. I know everything about Europe. Like even sometimes when I meet my European friends, they're like, oh my God, you know so much. But like, I've never been there.
Yeah.
Like I've never been to the other part of the world except for like Asia.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like mostly traveling around Asia. And I remember when I started my YouTube vlog, I was like, oh my God, I wish actually I had started back then when I was traveling, because like I would have recorded so much, but I still had my recordings like in a portrait, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, and then, that's where you get creative. You're like, okay, let me still utilize what I had in the past. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I guess sometimes my travel vlogs were, because I lived in Jakarta and I kind of saw that gap. I
Yeah.
saw that people don't know much about Jakarta, especially expats and foreigners.
Yeah.
And when I was doing like a bit of a research on YouTube, I realized that if I make vlogs about Jakarta, that's gonna blow. And
Yeah.
it did blow.
Yeah.
I was creating like vlogs about Jakarta, and so many people, I've received so many messages from even like expats, and they'd be like, you know what, your vlog is amazing. We're moving to Jakarta actually, and we had no idea what is it like. And after seeing what you're showing, like the cafes, the places, we're really excited to visit. And yeah, so I was mostly making like vlogs in Jakarta. Then I also did some vlogs in Bali.
Yeah.
And of course, Bali is a bit more, I'd say, saturated, because there are many people doing vlogs there. So that's when it comes, like the difficulty.
Yeah.
But generally, all the other vlogs, like I did actually a vlog about Iran. I took Iran like back in 2019.
Yeah.
And when I was in Iran, I wasn't a YouTuber yet, but I had my previous footage.
Okay.
So it was more like, that's where you get to creative. I was
Yeah.
just sitting and talking about Iran, but like rolling the footage from the past. Just wanted to like share how amazing Iran is, and how it's not portrayed. Like the media does not really portray Iran in a way that it needs to be, because people are extremely kind, extremely friendly. And it really is like Morocco in a way. It has this Morocco vibes.
Yeah, cool.
With all the palaces and that's basically was the fun of it, like teaching about cultures and showing like people that we're all so unique, but at the same time we're all same.
Yeah.
That brings us to unity, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I one thing that I pulled out of that little conversation there was that you said, I wish I started earlier.
Yeah.
And that is 100% the same with me, type of thing, like with the podcast and everything. It's just like, I love doing it. It's super good. I might have had conversations with people here and there, but it's like, damn, I wish I started this earlier. Like,
Right.
imagine how far ahead I would be if I'd
Yeah.
already started. And unfortunately, hindsight is a wonderful thing, but it's like, until you start it, then it's only then you realize you should have done it when you first thought about it, or like all those years ago when you didn't know what to do and all that type of stuff.
It's like when you're having this epiphany, don't overthink it. Just go with it.
Act on it. Yeah.
Act on it. But at the same time, even though you think that you've started late, you kind of never started late.
Yeah, exactly.
Your own time. Like,
Yeah.
and just in my case with Iran, right? Like I was just sitting in my room talking about Iran and pulling up the footage.
Yeah.
It still worked well, right?
Yeah.
Like it still worked well.
Yeah, and people can still do that with anything as well. Like,
Yeah.
You could just be sitting down in your room, filming it on your phone, landscape. Like if someone wants to become a travel vlogger or something like that. Like even myself, I could probably do it right now. I did like 6 weeks in Europe at the end of last year.
Yeah.
And I've got heaps of videos, heaps of photos and all that type of stuff. And I could definitely make a video of like just explaining where I went, what I saw, what I did.
So you see here, even in marketing, when I worked, right, this is all about how creative you can get. So sometimes we would be given small budgets. And, a person with a fixed mindset would say, oh, the budget is not enough, da, 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 da. But then a person with a growth mindset, with a creative, would learn how can I get creative even with a small budget.
Yeah.
So even when you're a creator, when you're just starting out, don't look like, oh, the grass is greener on the other side, but be like, how can I maximize with the limited resources that I have, but still make an impact? Like it's possible.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of the raw stuff now is coming back as well, I've noticed. Like, I've seen videos with millions of views on YouTube, and it's literally just like a picture from the YouTube, like when you upload something to YouTube, you know how it just kind of like selects a frame and it just goes like, this is your
thumbnail, right?
This is the thumbnail now. And I've seen videos like that recently, like just with hundreds of thousands of views and stuff like that. And here's me like slaving away trying to get it all done.
Because at the end of the day, because they have a substance.
Yeah.
And that substance is you. That substance is within you. Just keep on going, keep on creating, and basically enjoy the process.
Yeah. So we may as well start getting into like what you actually do.
Yeah.
And like, because it's all around personal branding and, purpose and all that type of stuff. yeah, you may as well explain what you do, and then we might get into like how someone can start if they got starting fresh.
Yeah. Well, so at the moment, I am running my own consultancy and agency, helping founders to get visibility through their personal brands. Either it's through video content or through written content. The medium that I offer right now are LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah.
Mostly short form content right now. Basically, the type of the framework that I follow with my clients is purpose driven plus your visibility. So I believe that every founder, when they start their business, there is a set of beliefs, a set of purpose instilled in them. We've all been in that situation when we either going through something in our childhood that makes us visionary, that makes us goal oriented, and we'll be like, okay, I want to pursue this business because back in my childhood, I didn't have these opportunities, and now it's my purpose to change the world through that. So in my case, obviously, it's me wanting to give people the space and platform to speak up, to claim their expertise with confidence. That comes from me. And there are so many other founders that I've spoken to. They've also been through something that they now want to change the world through their businesses. And I think that's beautiful. And my job here is that they have their expertise. I have the expertise in how to make you visible.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect combo.
Yeah, that's super awesome as well. And I like what you said there, like something that might have happened in childhood that like really resonates with you. And anyone who's like thinking about doing something or starting something, and I actually struggled with this for a long time myself, but you can actually do anything and make anything into a business now. Through the power of social media, and B, how you like build and make your business, how you structure it, what you sell, like all that type of stuff. You can literally turn anything into anything.
And the thing is also, so in terms of the opportunities are abundant, but also it's about doing something that resonates with you so that when there are hardships, you don't give up. You know the deeper why. In your gut feeling, you're like, I know that it's going to work because it's so aligned with me and I'm not going to abandon this. So obviously the opportunities are abundant and they're endless, but at the end of the day, I think the strong reason why is something that keeps you going, that helps you to never give up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So if someone's just starting out and they're trying to figure it all out for themselves, where would you suggest that someone starts? Just kind of like looking deep, writing down, like what would you suggest?
That's an amazing question because I've been through it myself. So when you're just starting out, sometimes you might start something randomly and you might think that this could be it, but then you realize that, oh wow, like that was just a stepping stone. So sometimes I recommend you start anyways. Don't overthink it. Start it in the moment, because that even if your first business fails, it might bring you actually to something that is more aligned with you, which by the way had happened to me. When I quit my job, my initial plan was to have like an e-commerce and to have my own jewelry brand. And like the vision was there. The vision was to empower women to basically claim their confidence through jewelry. You see, in my current business, it's still the same vision, but it's just a different business right now. So back then I thought that would be through jewelry, and I've done the jewelry brand, and you know, there were some sales, and it went like, it was a great learning curve, obviously, but at the same time it was hard for me to push through because I've just realized that the only thing I was enjoying about running my jewelry business was that I enjoyed marketing it. I enjoyed doing the social media behind it. I enjoyed the branding side of things. But when it came to product development, it was not my thing at all. I didn't have this passion towards it, and passion and patience. I did not have anything towards that. So, and it was hard to push through because I was like, something is not right here. And, you know, like it was a total, I'd say, crisis. I had like a huge identity crisis. I was like, oh my God, like I thought that was it. So what do I do now? But then I realized after some time, I was like, oh wow, no, actually, through this business, even though it didn't work out, I had learned what is it that I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Now I can pivot into a different business, which is personal branding agency, and it's going great right now. And I'm just still thankful that I started, even with the first business that failed. And as my friend told me, that this is like as if I've paid to a business coach.
Yeah.
Like, experience is the most amazing business coach that you can go through, even though if it's not exactly a success. We mostly learn from our failures rather than we learn from our success.
Yeah, exactly. There's no real winning or losing. It's winning or learning. And
It's
that's
winning or learning, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like a growth mindset thing as well. That winning and learning is where you want to be. You don't want to be like winning and losing and complaining about
100%.
it and all this type of stuff. So,
Yeah.
because imagine if you were just like had that identity crisis and you were like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my life now? I'm going to have to go back to 9 to 5.
Right.
Like, I can't do this. I'm not cut out for this. And like the only thing you would actually tried, not actually tried, but you know what I mean? Like the only thing you did was start this business and it failed.
Yeah.
You learnt from it and went, I actually really like doing these things. I think I'm going to pivot and
exactly.
go into that instead of that kind of victim mindset. It's like, well, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's too hard.
Yeah. And actually, like, I wanted to add one more point when you spoke about 9 to 5 and why I think there should be a strong reason of why, and why most of the businesses that we're passionate about is related to our childhood. Because I've spoken, like, some of my clients are the people who've just shifted from 9 to 5. Most of them, right, on paper, they have amazing career, amazing paycheck. Everything looks fine. Everything looks stable. But there's something inside of them that is like, that feels empty. Something is missing, like most of them. And it just brings me back to this realization that most of the time we follow this path because that's what expected. That's what we've been taught that is safe. But then we realize over time that no, but I also still need to do what I love, even though it's going to be hard, even though it's going to be unstable at first, but I still need to pursue it because I just can't anymore. I just can't be in 9 to 5 and still feel empty. That makes sense.
Yeah, like just having that purpose or the drive to keep going. Like it's more, you just routinely going to work because you have to. And like some people are made for the 9 to 5 and are happy, like they're happy to just,
which is okay.
Which is totally fine as well. But for the dreamers out there type of thing, it's one of those things, isn't it, where you've just got to have a crack, or if you're not feeling fulfilled or something like that, or you feel like something's missing, it's like you've just got to take that next step and take the action to be able to do it. Like I've said a couple of times, like one of my friends who I met here, I think he saved up like, let's just say 10,000 Australian dollars, which is what, like 7,000 US. And he quit his job, flew over to Bali, had $7,000 to $10,000, was here for, I don't know, like 4 months, I think. I think he did 2 months, like the visa on arrival, left for a bit and then come back, did 4 months. But in that 4 months, he tried starting his own business. He had a crack, did all these things and was just learning, going to networking events, doing all these things.
Yeah.
And I was actually his first customer because he was doing branding and all that type of stuff. And he did the branding for the podcast. And I was just like, yeah, man, like I'll be your first customer. Like hopefully this gives you some, like a bit of motivation or like, you know, whatever. And now he's currently back in Australia, but he's still doing his business. Like him moving here and quitting his job and having a go, as whether he's super, super successful or he's just getting by at the moment, I'm not 100% sure. But the moral of the story is that he saved up $10,000, which might take 6 or 8 months or something for someone working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Quit his job, come live over here for a few months, had a crack.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that can happen? You go back home, you go back to a 9 to 5. And you know, you're better off trying and learning.
I do believe that starting your own business is the most humbling experience.
Oh, yeah.
Because like as you said, the person gets a crackdown and then they rise and you just learn so much. You just become a different kind of a beast. You became so spiritual. You became so close to the God, the universe, right? You just believe in the manifestations, and even though everyone is against you and everyone's putting you some sense into your mind, right, telling that, oh, go to 9 to 5, or why don't you just do that, but then you still just believe there's something inside of you telling you that it's gonna work out.
Yeah, for sure. It's also, I feel like being in Bali as well is such a great place to come, because for Westerners or anyone kind of outside Indonesia type of thing, it's actually super, super cheap. You can get by here fairly easily for a long time on a short amount of money. And all the people that are in like the expat nomad type space and area, and the events and stuff that happen, like you're the product of the 5 people you hang around with and all that type of stuff. But also everyone here is doing that type of stuff. So if you're sitting down at the cafe and on your laptop or something, there's normally 4 or 5 other people doing the exact same thing.
Right.
And, you know, this person over here might be making $100,000 a month. This person over here might be making $1,000 a month or something.
Yeah.
But it's like,
actually, my story with Bali is that it's because of Bali that I was pushed into entrepreneurship, because my previous mindset was so fixed. I just seen myself in 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I feel like in my reality, nothing else existed.
So was this when you were studying?
So when I was studying, I still lived like in Bandung and Jakarta.
Yeah.
Back then, obviously, I was only thinking about 9 to 5. Like even in my culture, like speaking of my country, right? Yes, we're ambitious. Yes, we are dreaming, but we're still dreaming of 9 to 5.
Yeah, okay.
Because entrepreneurship is still developing. And in my mind, in my parents' mind, is that, yes, I will be educated. Yes, I will study abroad, but I will work in a huge company that is corporate, that it will give me all the career opportunities and growth. So that was my mindset.
Yeah.
And when I moved to Bali, that's when I just started doing 9 to 5 because I graduated from a university, moved to Bali. My job was remote. And I just started seeing everybody around me. Literally 9 out of 10 of my friends, they were all having their businesses.
Yeah.
And you know, when you are in this kind of environment, even that unconsciously pushes you to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and that's where I was going with it type of thing. Like, I think I was here I came in July, and then I think it wasn't until, like, there were some things that I had to do in between, like, you know, they say Bali heals people and stuff like that. And I just come over for a 2-month holiday. I was just like, because one of my friends was like, pack all your stuff up, go over, have a holiday, like just chill out, don't do anything. And then all of a sudden I just kind of found myself in all these circles and networking events and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh God, like I need to do something. And then I went and traveled a little bit more, and I was like, oh my God, because I'd never really traveled either before. So this was kind of like my first actual traveling experience. And I was like, God, I've got to see more of the world. And it's like you can't get enough of it once you're exposed to it. And like I've been back to Australia a few times and stuff like that for multiple reasons. But say one time I went back for like a month, and I was like, I've got to get back to Bali. Like I've got to get back there. Like it's like,
it pulls you back.
Yeah, it's almost like stunting. It's like smoking. Like it stunts your growth type of thing. You know what I mean? I was just like, oh, I've got to get back. I've got to get back. And then every time I think about leaving and stuff like that, I'm like, is it going to stunt my growth again? Like, is it going to stop? Because here, if you find yourself in the right circles or just in the right spot, it's like, there's just so much room for growth.
It's funny because if you watch one of my videos, I made a video about me not wanting to move to Bali technically. So because my videos kind of got popular for the Jakarta niche. Yeah. And when I moved to Bali, I made a vlog and kind of introduced to my followers that, hey guys, by the way, I've moved to Bali. And I was actually not super, I wouldn't say excited, but I was still not 100% excited about the idea of moving to Bali. And I was even telling in my vlogs that I feel like in Bali, everybody's too laid back and nobody has this mission or vision or any ambition or drive. And I felt like Jakarta was more like, you know, any place that is a bit more
hustle
type of thing. Yeah, you feel like that's where the growth is. But then at the end of the day, it's all about who you surround yourself with.
Yeah. No, it's so good here. I absolutely love it. Like, you know, there's just new events popping up all the time.
100%. And you know, it's like the whole new world opens up in front of you. With one mindset thinking, Bali is just a place of laid back people. But then you actually realize, no, there's a different portal that opens up to you. And you see people who are actually driven, who are working on their businesses and having this a location independent mindset.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can go down to Seminyak or Kuta or something like that, and you can see all the people that are just drinking beers on a Tuesday
Chilling.
morning at like chilling and stuff like that. And it's like if that's what you want to be around and that's where you want to be, sweet, go down there and have your holiday and drink beers for 7 days straight or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, but if you want to be more around like the international expats and all that type of stuff, then you'd probably move more towards like Canggu, Paranan type of thing. Even Uluwatu and stuff, maybe. But even still, that's kind of a bit more surfy, chilly and stuff like that. But it's very location dependent here, I think. But there's also spots for everyone. Like the scene might be a little bit bigger here for expats than it is somewhere else, but you can always find what you're looking for.
Yeah, so, 100%. No. It's all about the mindset.
Definitely. But anyway, let's continue. What's some of the best ways that, let's just say someone's doing, because you do short form stuff, what's some of the best ways that you've found that helps with, people kind of stuck in maybe that 100 or 200 view count type of thing? How could someone change or look at what they're doing? Is it through storytelling or like what's the best bit of advice you can give someone when they're like trying maybe to prepare for doing their reels 100%, or something?
Yeah. So based on my framework that I've created, it's like a pyramid, right? So the base of the pyramid is knowing your inner why, this clarity. So that's what I usually, when I work with my clients, I basically take them through the questioning process where we uncover their deepest purpose in them. For example, somebody might tell me, well, the reason I have a cooking blog, like, firstly you say, oh, like on a service level, you'd say, yeah, because I want to share the recipes, right? But it's like, okay, but everybody shares the recipes. What's your unique angle on that? And the more like I go through the questioning process, like one of my past clients, she actually told something like, well, actually my mom, she owned a warung, right? Like an Indonesian type of a restaurant, a street food. She's like, and I grew up watching her cooking, and now I have this vision that I want to popularize Indonesian food because Indonesian food is underrated. Everybody knows Thai food, everybody knows Indian, Korean, but why nobody knows about? So that's enough for me to see that, okay, there is a deeper why, there is a deeper purpose. So now we have the bottom of the pyramid instilled. Like the middle of the pyramid is more about the storytelling. Now, how do you present it? How do you share the stories that are so captivating that it will be memorable, right? If I scroll through, I see thousands of recipes, but how do you make me stay and remember you? Remember that I'm following not only because of the recipes, but I'm following because of you. Because something about you tell your stories captivates me. And that's actually what happened with my own YouTube channel. Many people be like, it's just like about how you tell stories that makes me want to stay, right? So that's what I help my clients to find. And basically the tip of the pyramid, sometimes most of the creators make this mistake. They too much follow on the algorithm. Algorithm this, algorithm that, hook this, hook that. And then they lose themselves. And that's what happened to me back in my YouTube days, because people would tell me things like, right now mukbangs are trendy, do that. Or right now this is trendy. Like when you follow trends, it's good to follow trends once in a while, but you need to have your core strategy, that spine, that at the end of the day is still yours. So once you have basically your core strategy, you can follow the algorithm things such as like all the algorithm games, posting at the right time, hooks, hacks, maybe something that is trendy once in a while, but it's still resonant with your topic. When I was starting first, I feel like I was going the other way around. As I said, right, I saw what the market wants, but it didn't necessarily resonate with me, or like I was too much into algorithm game. And sometimes when you're too much into this, it's just like a rabbit hole. It takes you deep and deep, and then you forget what is it, your purpose, what is the essence that you're trying to send.
Exactly. It kind of turns you more into an influencer than a personal brand.
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm trying to say, because I feel like you can probably actually, I'll ask you this question. Do you think influencers are dead? Do you think they're on their way out because of how strong the personal brand game is now. Like you see, I think I might have said this to you the other night, but there's now like CEOs of big brands and stuff that are filming their days and putting it on Instagram and TikTok and like I'm trying to struggle to think of all the people that that are doing it, but like there's just so many people now that are in big, powerful positions, maybe not necessarily famous or anything like that, but just can give value through day-to-day life and stuff and getting personal branding done for them because it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's the way of the future. Like you need to be giving value these days, whereas gone are the days of like influencing in the sense of doing a TikTok dance or whatever.
So amazing question. love the question. Are influencers that? Here's the thing. I do think that at the beginning, a lot of influencers, they got their benefits. They've risen.
Risen. Yeah.
Rise.
Yeah, they're on the rise. They got their followers.
They got the followers. They got popular, but at the same time, most of them were smart enough to monetize it beyond monetization. Like there are two types of monetization, right? One is the platform monetization, is when TikTok basically
pays for likes
pays
and views.
For your views, right? Okay. And then the second monetization is now you know how to turn it into business.
Yeah.
So those influencers who know how to turn it into a business, I think they're the winning ones. But if you're only relying on monetization on a platform based,
yeah, I know what you're saying. I feel like that's kind of probably dead as well because unless you're doing like lives and all that type of stuff. But one thing I just want to touch on is, so we'll scrap monetization from and we'll just go straight onto the business side.
Yeah.
By business side, what's your view on brand deals versus making an actual business with your personal brand? Because I feel like there's a difference between having a clothing brand pay you X amount of money every month for 3 reels, this and that. And, yes, you can, if you get a 12-month contract or you're continually looking for them, that could be good. But I feel like that fizzles out. Like there's a time, it's a ticking time bomb because if something happens, your account gets banned, like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Something happens to
You're
that type of thing.
You're in a very vulnerable position,
yeah,
basically.
that's what I'm looking for. But then you've got the people who have built a personal brand and then with that personal brand shown this is my business and it's essentially their purpose type of thing, you know what I mean, that they've built a business around. Like what's your view on that type of stuff?
Just to clarify, do you mean that when they have gathered the community but now they've built a business out of that?
Yeah, sorry, I kind of went on a bit of a tangent and didn't really ask any questions. The business side of things, obviously the personal brand and having a business is better. So how does someone go from like the lady with the burung kitchen cooking, what type of stuff did she do to monetize other than growing and going viral or all that type of stuff? What did she do, or do you help people do that?
So at the moment she is just creating content and warming up her audience, but I've actually had a conversation with her the other day. That's when you see how you can monetize it beyond the platform monetization. So in her case, I totally see if she creates her cookbook. That's what we're talking about, right? At the end of the day, creating a business out of your presence. Because at the end of the day, with the personal brand, why are we creating the personal brand? Because at the end of the day, we want to bring attention to our product or to our service. But we are the ambassador of our own company. We are the expert here and we're positioning ourselves. So some of the influencers, they have the attention, they have the community, but how they can go beyond that. Now, how they can utilize basically the community that they've grown into something tangible and long-term and sustainable.
How do you recognize that? Like, obviously the cooking one is, I would say easy, because like if you're cooking, like what's the logical thing to do?
Yeah. So it's based on your vision, right? Like you can either go to the cookbook site, or based on your audience, you can probably even have your own Indonesian restaurant. Like it depends where your vision leads you to and what your gut feeling tells you based on your community's response.
And you can also start small, I guess, as well.
Exactly.
Can't you? Like,
yeah.
You could just create an email list or something and
Exactly.
give out the recipe that you did
right.
on your...
And like I've also seen a lot of, like, if you've seen those Turkish influencers, like
Not sure.
that Salt Bay, for example.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like if you think about it, right, he got the attention with that signature that he... And right now he has restaurants all around the world. So you see, that's where you utilize your... From influencer, you're going to a business owner. Yeah.
And I suppose that's the other side of it too, isn't it? With what I was saying before about like the brand deals versus the building the business and stuff like that. Like if you're quite smart and you know that you can get a lot of eyes on things, but you don't quite have the nous for building a business or doing a business, there's probably a shitload of millionaires out there that have a shitload of money, but they don't have the time.
Right.
And you've got the time and can get the eyes, hence like something like Salt Bay type of thing. Like he might not have had the money.
He had the social media,
but,
right?
But he had the social media with millions of views and like just crazy views and all that type of stuff. And then someone goes, let's give this guy his own restaurant and tell people to, like, you know, there's just investors out there that'll just throw money at stuff like that.
Exactly.
It's like, let's build a real fancy restaurant and he can sprinkle golden salt on us, like whatever he does. Like,
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I suppose you've just got to have the mind to try and, I don't know, once you start doing it, is to be open-minded about it.
Open-minded, yeah. Grow beyond it. Start thinking, every business, at the end of the day, it's about growing. You outgrow some part and then you go for your next vision. Firstly, you start, and there's so many people, right? They firstly start just as a small Instagram presence, right? And then they grow into like 1 million views, and then they're like, okay, now I feel like it's time to go beyond that. Now I feel like let's tie it to my business. So it's all about how you basically align with the vision and the attention that you've got to turn it into something tangible.
Yeah, for sure. How does someone like find their vision? Like I'm not even sure if I've fully made one or got one for this. I might already.
I just think that vision is always within you.
Yeah. Okay.
You sometimes choose to ignore it. You sometimes think that it's not the time yet, but it's always within you. You might see it through a different angle at first, but at the end of the day, it will still come back to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's something that you're always thinking about, but you're not acting upon it yet because you're thinking, oh, am I in a different world? Is it realistic? But it's always within you. And it will come back. Like, you know, just, I would say, stay grounded. Keep doing what you have to do along the journey. And your vision just be there for you, and it will be your guiding compass.
Yeah, as long as you're doing it with purpose, I guess, then then it'll just come to you, won't it?
Yeah.
No, that's really good. So, is there any more tips or anything that you can give or throw out to anyone? Like, we've got do it now.
Yeah.
Make sure you action it.
Yeah.
You know, just start doing something that you love. You'll find your vision and purpose once you actually start. Is there anything else?
100%. So if you have days when it's just nothing's working out, if you need to cry, cry. If you need to take a break, but come back. Always come back.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that have helped me, myself. And the second thing is that ask for help. We don't realize it sometimes, but like, there's no such thing as solopreneurship at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You still rely on other people's help. Either it's a mentor, either it's a coach, either it's a friend who knows better. Ask for help. Go to different communities, events, and you might meet people who could actually exactly get you from point A to point B. And that's how happened to me so many times, you know, like this is for me, entrepreneurship that is based on purpose is such a godly experience, because there is this difficulty and obstacle, and the more you are in it, the more you're thinking about it, and the more you're like, God, how do I come out of this situation? It feels like life somehow sends you the right people.
Yeah.
It's the matter of you being in it, being committed to it, and God will just send you the right help at the right time.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think that, yeah, committing to what you're doing, being consistent, definitely basically the only two things that you need to, like, eventually you're going to be successful. Like, I think 100%. Alex Hormozy says something like, build enough undeniable proof that, like, I can't remember the full quote, but, you know what I mean? Like, just show up. Do the thing, and eventually you will have done it for long enough that you are actually super good at it.
Exactly.
And circling back to what you were saying about like mentors and asking and all that type of stuff, 100%. Just asking the question and finding out. Like, most people won't like turn you down or shy you away. Like, if it's something that they're an expert in and it's their business and you're asking them, hey, Midge, can you do this for my show? You'd be like, I can, but here's how you can.
Here's the thing,
join.
right? Also, some people, they probably have limited budget or something, and they might not invest into some high-end mentorship. It doesn't always have to be a high-end mentorship, right? It can be literally a person that had such a good energy, but she's still an expert. And sometimes, like, in the beginning of my journey, I was asking for advice just based on the energy exchange. Yeah. Like, there was something that I would give in return, and then there would be something that this person would give me in return. So that's basically the point here. Or also, like, meeting someone who knows someone who could potentially introduce you to someone. Yeah,
exactly. And it's like one of those things. Actually, a little bit of a conversation that I had the other day was, I was talking about doing something for an influencer who's got quite a big following. Yeah. And I was talking to this girl about it, and she was like, yeah, that's really cool that you could do that. But she's like, I've only got like 10,000 followers. So what you do for him, she's like, I see that. And I hadn't thought about this either. She was like, I see that and be like, oh, wow, that's really cool that they got those results for this person with hundreds of thousands of followers. But I'm so far away from that. Yeah. So it's like, you need to kind of get into the mindset. If you just need someone who's just above you, like, you only need to go one step up on the ladder to be able to get the information. And then once you get to where they are, or if you really vibe with them and like them, then, you either stay in their mentorship or do whatever, or you can go again and be like, say I come to you tomorrow and I'm like, Midge, I need help. And you're like, sweet, let's get you to 5K 100%. Followers or 10K followers or 200K followers or something like that. And then it gets to a point where, we both go, oh, that was really good. Thanks for that. Like, but I need to take the next step, and you need to keep going on with your business and make room and stuff. And no one gets sour about it or anything like that. But I think.
And also, like, another tip I'd give is surround yourself with also people on a similar journey who are also pursuing entrepreneurship. Because that makes a huge difference, right? Sometimes I've had friends, and me myself, sometimes you share your struggles with people who are in 9 to 5, for example, and the only advice sometimes they give, just because they want to help you, they'll be like, maybe you could go back to 9 to 5. Which doesn't help.
That's crazy, actually, now that you say that. It's like where you're at and what you're doing. Like, if it's like with what I'm doing right now, I can't go and ask my mum and dad, because my mum and dad have only been exposed to 9 to 5. Only been exposed to that. So I go to them with like, oh, mum, what do you think I should do for my podcast and something like that? Like, she'd probably actually give me good advice. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just really resonate hard with that, because that only, you ask someone who's in the 9 to 5 about what you're doing with your journey. And unless there's some sort of like big head CEO of something and you're trying to build a similar type of company, what advice can they actually give you?
And as entrepreneurs, deep inside, we just want to hear that you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're dreamers at the end of the day, and when we have those hardships, we just want someone to give us this, I've also been there, it is tough in the beginning, but you will get there. We just want to hear this. Like, we've heard it 10,000 times, but we want to keep hearing and keep hearing that.
You need that reassurance.
Reassurance over and over again. And when somebody gives you the advice of, well, maybe you can stop playing, just I immediately be like, no, I'm fine. Okay, forget about it.
That's almost as good as the reassurance, isn't it? It's just like, no thanks.
No thanks.
No, good. No, that's good. No, that's great. But no, thank you so much for coming on today. That was really, really good. I loved having that conversation, and there was heaps of little gems in there. So really appreciate it. Thanks, Midge.
Thank you.
Amazing.